Hello, this is the condensed version of how to use GreenWise's um, auditing application iWize. Um, Go to the App Store, look for iWize, download the application. If you need to create an account, you'll see the link down there in the bottom of the screen there. So once you have your account and are approved, enter in your user ID and password and hit login. When you first come to the screen, if your first time using the app, the only application you'll see should be this sample store audit. It's just one that we have in there for everybody. So when you first start using the app, you can kind of go through and see all the information that's in there. When you do start a new audit, you hit the plus sign and you put in the store name, number, audit name, and hit create audit, and it will fill in the store name, number, and audit name that you see on the screen there to the right. Here's the customer overview information. Anywhere you see an asterisk, those fields are necessary and help to identify not only the audit but also to make sure that similar audits aren't in the database, so that information doesn't get crossed up between two different audits. So there's all the customer information you put in. The store hours, that's necessary for if you're putting in LED lights or night covers. The rebates and info, a lot of this information you will gather from the rebate applications from your local rebate provider, whether it be the actual electric or gas utility or a rebate processing company that is doing it for the electrical utility. Within those rebates, like fan controls, they can be calculated per controller or motor. Rebate or for the LEDs per foot or door, and then if they shut their refrigerated case lights off at night, this isn't like just the overhead lights in the store, but it's like for the freezer doors, for like pizza, ice cream, frozen vegetables, or like walk-in coolers, for like beverage coolers that have the doors at the front of the cooler. All of the yellow fields are either not editable or they are gathered from a different area, like from the price list, which I'll show you that tab here in a second. Pretty much everything else here is pretty self-explanatory. You just look for those numbers. The duty cycles percentages on the right there. The only time you will really need to change those if you are doing a project where the humidity is abnormally high throughout the year, such as like Hawaii, southern Florida, places like that. Otherwise, those will stay the same. If you are doing a project in an area where the humidity is higher than normal throughout the whole year, not just seasonally, but throughout the whole year, please contact us, and we'll be more than happy to help you figure out what the best percentages to use in those fields would be. Just a note for the LEDs here on the left-hand side. See the LED info. The occupancy sensors and the power packs and the dimming motion sensors and all that stuff. Most customers don't use those for a couple reasons. One, they are kind of expensive, and the payback on them just isn't that great. LEDs in general are the lowest payback measure within this audit. Then we'll go over to customer summary. This will populate as you do the audits. So once you're done with your whole audit, you can come back to here just for a quick reference when you're all said and done. The price list. The standard price column is the MSRP price list that we load up to the system. So from there, you can either change those individual prices or use that discount rate and change the discount to whatever you want. So if you're putting in some FCXs and you want to discount a little bit more, give them a 20% discount on those, you can change that. Or you see down at the bottom, you can change the standard discount rate, and that'll change it for all. That whole discounted rate column will change for you. Where that MSRP or discounted rate is affected by is where you choose the price level in this customer overview page. So quickly go through the audits. You'll see here there's some preloaded ones. So for each one of these, where the doors and frames are separate, that's for the LT controller, low temp, also known as our 2-channel. So that allows for controlling the door heaters separate from the frame heaters. So to do a new, so if you had another area where you needed to put in some more controllers, you hit New Run, enter in that information, and it would populate with, similar to one of these. So I'll just do one somewhere, just like, so let's say it's some bread or whatever, case, we'll say 5, and we'll say 2, and there's 3 of those, and they are a freezer. So now you see that 4th line just populated. If you need, like I showed before, if you need to edit something, just tap on that line item, the information will come back up, and you can change what you need to, or if you have, need to just delete it, you can delete it. And there it goes away. The next one over is doors and frames not separate. A lot of times this will be for like those walk-in coolers that have doors on the front of them. Very similar to the same thing as the controlling them separately. So like walk-ins here, a lot of times you'll use an MT, especially on coolers, and just need to know that sometimes those walk-in coolers, the doors may be controlled by more than one J-box. So pretty much however many J-boxes there are is how many controllers you'll need. Or there are instances where you can gang them up with a relay, like what you see down here, the ganged up, and then using a rib relay. So sometimes you can do that depending on how many amps are in the total door package. Because if it's over 12, you definitely have to use at least one more controller or do the relay option here. So there's a couple options there that you can choose. So then when you're done, the proposal information fills all out, so you've got that right on your screen, and the bill of material. Go over to the LEDs. Again, like the frozen doors there. So you put in the information up at the top, and the watts is for the existing lamps that are in there, as well as the length of the bulbs. In the case 1 here, and the number of lamps, that is for the existing information. The left, center, and right, that is what you'll be putting in. So as you're doing that, just know that those old cases, they have a left and a right, and then one in between each door. When you put in new LED lamps, you can eliminate where the 2 cases meet up. You don't have to put a left and a right, you can put one center. So that's why you see 52 lamps in there for the existing, but only 46 total lamps for the new LED lights. Is because you don't have to have that many, as many lamps as that were in there before with the centers. And most of the lamps that we are selling now are self-ballasted, so you actually don't need any drivers for those, but that's still available if you're using like a Philips or a GE light. But the ones we use, you just hook right up to the power, and then they've got pigtails on them, so you daisy chain them together, and makes for a nice, quick, easy install with a great light. Once you're done with the audit, again, there's your proposal information and your bill of materials. For the night cover, pretty simple. You go in. What you want to do is, like, see, there's 28 feet here. You want to use as many 6-footers as possible to cut down on installation and employee operation at night when pulling them down. And when you're doing a new run, when you start one, you'll see the verified feet has that wrong symbol. So what that is for is when you put in, say it's 20 feet of case that you need to do. You put in 2 6-footers to get you to 12 feet, another 8 feet with 4-footers, and now that verified feet has changed to a star, meaning you're all good. So let's say you accidentally just put one in, it would show that, oh, the number of 4-footers plus the number of 6-footers doesn't equal 20 feet, and now it does. You can also do custom lengths, and we actually don't use the 5-footers anymore. There was a time we had 5 and 3 foot, but now it's just 6 and 4 foot. So if you need to do a custom length one, you actually just tap in the length of run in feet, not use the scrolling wheel, type in the number you need, and then so if it's over 4 foot, you need to choose a 6-footer, and then if it's over or under 4 feet, you choose a 4-footer. So say this was 3.5. I'm going to change this back to 0, and then change the 4 to a 1, and there you go. So then when you're done with your audit, again, there's your proposal and your bill of materials. The standard colors for the cassette versions are the white, silver, and black. The most popular by far is the silver. We do stock a little bit of the white and black. Any other color, so you choose other, and you can type in red, hit return, and then red is in there. That's special order. Please call us if you have a need for that. We can powder coat those cassette shrouds and get the color the customer wants. For ECMs, for all your reach-in cases, whether it's the frozen doors or produce or open-air merchandisers that have drip pans and the motors underneath, this is where you enter in all the information for that. So you can see like the frozen doors there, and like produce cases. Next would be your walk-in audit. So that's just all your walk-in coolers and freezers. When doing the walk-in coolers and freezers, make sure that you are also aware of how many rooftop units or compressors are controlling the evaporator coils in each particular walk-in. If you are putting fan controls in on those coils, you need to make sure that you have at least one controller per compressor. You cannot control coils that are being operated by different compressors with the same controller. It will produce a bad result, and the fan control will not operate properly, and so the fans will not either, and you'll have freezing and icing issues. So just again, make sure more than each compressor has its own fan control. But if there's multiple coils on one compressor, you can control those coils together as long as they're on the same compressor. Again, so we'll just do a new run here just so you can see. So let's say it's deli, and we'll just go cooler, and we're going to put a fan control on there. Voltage, number of coils, we'll just say 1 with 2 motors just to make it simple. and 1/15 horsepower. Clockwise, we'll say this has a spider bracket, shaded pole. There's a switch on the evaporator coil itself so you can disconnect power. It's long shaft and 2-speed. So all that information is in there, and you hit save. Now you'll see, we'll hit save again, and you can scroll over line number 6 there. You see it auto-populates with the motor that you need to replace the existing motors with. Let's say, for instance, we accidentally put 16 watts and left long shaft in there. This warning will pop up letting you know there is no valid part number with the parameters you have entered in, and it will even if you hit OK, it'll show no motor, and this will produce an error in your audit and savings analysis. So to fix that, 16 watt motors, those are always going to be a screw shaft motor. So all we would need to do there is change the long shaft to a screw shaft, hit save, and now you see it populates with the particular motor there in line 6. I'm just going to delete that line item out. So that's your walk-in audit, and here's your ECM proposal. So this is for all motors, walk-in or reach-in motors that are not controlled by a fan control. Then your ECM motors bill of material, and then you scroll over and there's your ECM and fan control proposal. So this is for any walk-in motors that also have the fan control with it. And then this ECM and fan control proposal by row will allow you to see any walk-in cooler or freezer that it also has a fan control on it, and so you can separate it out to see the individual savings for each one. Next, you go over and there's your ECM and fan control bill of materials. And that's pretty much the gist of the audit program. The register audit button, you can hit that at any time and it will upload your audit to the database. Otherwise it's just stored on your iPad. But you will not be able to generate the proposal until you do register the audit. So once you hit register audit, then it's also available on any device where if you log in with the same credentials that you just created the audit, you hit generate proposal, and there you can choose which audits you want to be presented in the proposal. So say you didn't do LEDs or night covers, you can turn those off or turn them back on, and then you generate a PDF. And just takes a few seconds to produce it, and there's all the pages of your PDF. So this is 27 pages long, so it's all the proposals first, and then come down, so we're still in, and there's the different individual walk-in proposals. That's by row, and now here's bill of materials. So like anti-sweats, LEDs, all your the equipment that you'll be that you are proposing to put in, and then there's your summary page showing everything. And as you can see here, like the LED lights, it's 67-month payback, but with the whole package, everything all together is about 25 months, so just a little over 2 years. Then you got a signing page in case the customer is ready to go and sign right there, so you can email it, and it populates with the email address that you put in for the customer. Copy is sent to them. It's also in your sent email, as long as you have to have Apple Mail set up on your iPad for this function to work. So once you have it in your sent folder, you can go open that PDF up in a signing application like Sign My Pad or Adobe Fill and Sign, and get a signed proposal right there. That's pretty much the gist of the application. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. We'll have some information down below in the description, and look forward to talking to you. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.